You don't find the Golden Dawn. It finds you. And by the time you understand what you've stepped into, the door behind you no longer exists. This isn't just occult history wearing a costume. This is a secret society documentary told from the inside, where every whispered password and candlelit chamber belonged to you. The Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn didn't simply teach its members rituals. It restructured their entire reality, rank by rank, grade by grade, through an occult brotherhood hierarchy so precise and so merciless that most men shattered long before they reached the top. What you're about to witness is the full scope of Victorian occult orders laid bare. The Golden Dawn occult ranks explained not through dusty academic text, but through your own eyes, your own hands, your own fear. From the moment you survived your first occult initiation ritual, stripped of your former name in a room full of robed strangers, you entered the dark history of secret orders that has never been fully told. Until now. This is occult secret society history as it was lived, breathed, and sometimes died. This is the POV secret society ranks format pushed to its absolute limit, following a single soul through every threshold of the Aleister Crowley Golden Dawn era, through betrayal, obsession, and forbidden knowledge, all the way to the summit that almost no one ever reached. From neophyte to magus. Not everyone made it, but you will see everything. Level 1. The Neophyte. 0 degrees equals 0 degrees London, 1888. You are 23 years old and you have nothing. Your father's debts died with him, but they didn't stay dead. The creditors came first, then the landlord, then the cold. You are a failed theology student living above a print shop on a street that smells like coal smoke and rotting wood, and you have spent the last 4 months convincing yourself that your hunger is philosophical. Then a man finds you. He is not remarkable to look at. Brown coat, careful eyes. He slides a folded card across the table at the reading room where you sit pretending to study. The card reads, "There is a light. You have been observed worthy of its consideration." You tell yourself it's nonsense. You go anyway. The door they bring you through is unremarkable, a townhouse in Bloomsbury. But beyond it, the air changes. Incense, thick, resinous, something ancient underneath it. You are told to wait in a room with no windows. When they come for you, you are blindfolded. Your hands are bound with a cord. Someone speaks in a low, measured voice, and the words are not English, and something in your chest responds before your mind does. They call you frater, brother. They tell you your old name is a shell. They tell you that tonight, something real begins. You believe them. That is your first mistake, and it is the one that costs you everything that follows. Level 2. The Zealotor. 1 degree equals 10 degrees. 6 months later. The hunger is gone. The questions have replaced it. You are studying now. Not theology. Not the clean marble corridors of academic faith. You are studying the Kabbalah, the Tree of Life, the Hebrew letters that the order tells you are the architecture of creation itself. You are given a cipher manuscript. You are given rituals to memorize. You are given a superior who grades your comprehension with the detached patience of a man who has watched 100 students fail before you. The work is relentless. The reward is almost nothing. A new title, a new symbol, the permission to stand in a slightly different part of the ritual chamber. But there are moments, and this is the mechanism that the order perfected. Moments where something happens that you cannot explain. A meditation that cracks open into something that has no name. A symbol on a page that seems to rearrange the room around it. You do not tell anyone. You write it in your private journal in a code you invented yourself. You have no way of knowing yet that your superior has already read it. Level 3. The Practicus. 3 degrees equals 8 degrees. 2 years in, you are changing. You cannot see how much. Your friends from before, the ones who still exist, have stopped inviting you to things. You are always busy. You are always somewhere you cannot describe. You have begun to understand why the Order demands secrecy, and the understanding has made you complicit in ways you have not fully audited. You know things now. Not everything, but enough to understand that the knowledge above you is real, and that the men who hold it are not simply playing at mysticism. The rituals of the Practicus grade place you in contact with the elemental forces of water, grief, intuition, the unconscious deep. You perform a working in the chamber and weep for 40 minutes without knowing why. The supervising adept watches without expression. Afterward, he tells you, "Good, the grade is working." You want to ask what that means. You don't. That is the second mechanism the Order perfected, training you not to ask. Level 4. The Philosophus. 4 degrees equals 7 degrees. The outer order is almost behind you. You are almost someone. The social architecture of the Golden Dawn is becoming visible to you now. You understand that this is not simply a school of occult philosophy. It is a network. Judges, members of parliament, poets whose names you know, a woman of considerable family fortune who speaks Latin better than the men do and tolerates none of them. Power is present in this room. Old, inherited, patient power. And it has noticed you. You are invited to dinners, introduced carefully. Your opinion is solicited on matters that have nothing to do with Kabbalah. You begin to understand that the Order offers two things: the genuine esoteric knowledge, ascending through grades like a ladder toward something true, and the social machinery built around it, which is useful to men who want leverage and call it enlightenment. You tell yourself you are only here for the latter. You accept the dinner invitations anyway. Level 5. The Adeptus Minor. 5 degrees equals 6 degrees. The inner order. The vault of the Adepti. The moment everything splits. They bring you into a room you did not know existed. Beneath the townhouse. Stone walls. 7 sides. Painted in colors that seem to shift when you are not looking directly at them. At the center is a pastos, a symbolic tomb. And inside it lies the symbolic body of Christian Rosenkreutz, the mythic founder of Rosicrucianism, whose resurrection you are about to enact. You have been preparing for this ceremony for 4 years. Nothing prepares you. What happens in that vault, the symbolism, the darkness, the moment they lift the lid and you look in and understand what is being asked of you, stays with you like a brand. Not metaphorically. You feel it in your sternum for weeks. You have crossed a threshold that has no corresponding door on the other side. You are an adept now. And the first thing an adept learns is that the outer order, all those years, all that study, was prologue. The real curriculum is only beginning. And the real curriculum requires everything. Level 6. The Adeptus Major. 6 degrees equals 5 degrees. You have power now, real power, and it is corroding you in real time. You lead rituals, You instruct zealotors with the same detached patience that was once directed at you. You understand the mechanism now, from the inside, and the understanding does not make you kinder. It makes you efficient. The order is fracturing. Aleister Crowley, brilliant, catastrophic, a wound that walks, has been refused advancement and is making his refusal very loud. W.B. Yeats is writing letters about spiritual authority that read like barely contained screaming. The woman you once admired for her Latin is no longer speaking to the man who initiated her. Factions have formed. Accusations of stolen magical documents, of power grabs dressed as spiritual discernment, of leaders who are manufacturing their authority from whole cloth. You watch all of this with the cold eyes of someone who has learned too much to be shocked and too much to leave. You know where the bodies are buried, not literally, not yet, but you know which secrets belong to which powerful men, and they know you know, and that knowledge sits between you like a weapon that neither of you can afford to fire. This is what the top of a hierarchy actually looks like. Not light, mutually assured destruction. Level 7. The Adeptus Exemptus. 7 degrees equals 4 degrees. The threshold before the abyss. The last moment you are still yourself. The grade of Adeptus Exemptus requires one thing above all others. You must cross the abyss. Not symbolically, or not only symbolically. In the Golden Dawn's cosmology, the abyss is the gulf between human consciousness and divine reality, and the crossing of it requires the complete annihilation of the ego, of the self, of the thing you have spent your entire adult life building in these chambers and at these dinners and through these rituals. You must give up the name you took, the power you accumulated, the face you have learned to wear in every room. You have watched 2 men attempt this crossing and return as hollow things, still speaking, still moving, still reciting the correct words at the correct moments. But behind the eyes, something fundamental had gone quiet. You sit alone in your study for 3 days. You do not eat. You do not sleep. You read the Enochian calls until the words lose their meaning, and then recover it in a different form. On the 3rd morning, something happens. You cannot write it down. Language does not have the architecture. You emerge, and the person who emerges is not precisely the person who went in. Level 8. The Magus. 9th degree equals 2nd degree. The summit, the silence, the unbearable weight of having arrived. There is no celebration. There is no ceremony grand enough. There is only the absolute, crushing quiet of a man who has learned everything an order of human beings was capable of teaching him, and who now understands, with perfect, terrible clarity, that the knowledge was never the point. The point was the climb. The point was the hunger. The point was the version of you that existed before that first blindfolded room, young and cold and reaching for something that had a name. The order below you is a ruin. Lawsuits have been filed. The Isis Urania Temple in London has splintered into 3 warring factions. Crowley has taken pieces of the system to build his own mythology on top of the wreckage. Men who shared oaths with you are now strangers on the same street. The machinery that promised to restructure reality restructured itself instead, into something smaller and meaner and very human. You are a magus of the Golden Dawn. You sit in a room that smells of old incense and cold stone. You are the highest thing left standing in a tower that has already fallen. And the silence that surrounds you is not the silence of wisdom. It is the silence of a man who cannot go back, cannot go further, and cannot explain to a single living person what it costs to arrive at precisely nowhere. The door behind you is gone. You knew that from the first night. You just didn't know the door in front of you was made of the same material.